Well, afternoon, VHR, Scion here, YouTubers, Raiders, Twin Orgron battle plan. This is a breakdown for our normal heroic attempt. Now, we always start with hero at the beginning because of the fact that it's an optimal time. We move the bosses from the stair location directly in front over into this pillar position. We usually mark it with a flag, usually red because it stands out in most of the color contrasts that are present. What we try to create is a general area to be able to work with. So the orange lines that you're seeing is pretty much the areas that we want to work with consistently. We don't want people traveling too far back. So what I typically do is like flag, 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 maybe a flag over here where the whirlwind will break through. And then that way everybody kind of knows like stay within this area. Now, because of the way that the encounter plays itself out, we really only have two people that we designate a specific position for in this fight. And we found that it was really easy to just go in that fashion and let everybody else just do a stack formation here. But we do like to prefer during our encounters to have our healers surrounding our group. So what we have during it is a quake. Naturally, everybody's probably seen it at this point. He throws his axe into the ground. What we found is that it's always going to be around the perimeter on normal and heroic. So he throws down two of them. Remember to avoid it when you see the impact because you can get stacks of the burn effect that's present with it. What we also see is that the flames come through in their natural wave and order. So what we look for is a postscript that we found for setting your camera at a maximum distance and then scrolling all the way back and putting it on top. And that completely eliminated people from dying from the flame. For a couple of attempts, like pretty much our primary night that we were working on them initially in normal and in heroic, we were able to get them down within an hour of our attempts, but we were having issues with it. So when we found this was a godsend. This really helped out. So look for that postscript. You can just do max camera postscript for World of Warcraft. It'll pop up in a forum real quick. We also have people in group that have it on macro that we can put it out into the group immediately when we get to this encounter. Second attack that we look for is Whirlwind. Now this is where we have the two designated things as far as positions. What we like to prefer is the tanks will be stacked right here, right in front of the pillar, so that they have area to work in here, area to work in there when the Quake's flames are coming through, so that way they always have an option to be able to run one way or the other. But during Whirl, the tank has to move one of the bosses out into this area here, to Famous out to there. So what we do is we put a speed boost on and a defensive and work our way through the fire with about, I don't know, like I usually run it at about 8 seconds. When I start to see 8 seconds, I start to back out of our stack position and then start working my way through the fire, kind of in a backwards approach. And then when I see about 2 seconds, I'm like speed boost, defensive, and I immediately shoot. And I use my weakest one. Usually it's like my 20-second one, so it's really, it's not too bad, but it's just to prevent some impacts if he does catch up with me. But usually what he does is he walks over to the point, he kind of stops short of where I want him stacked, and I usually put, like, for example, the skull flag right there because of its contrast. It's really bright. We also have a healer that we put him here, and then what both of them do is they both, boom, shift over to here. So that way your heals are always coming into here, and it puts half the whirlwind up in this area here, which plays no part in the fight. So it eliminates half of the effective area that's going on right here, which allows the healer to get really close. Now for the tanks, what you want to do is as you back them into this location, you go from this location here, 3 o'clock on the right-hand side, pivot down to 6 o'clock, and that puts you closer to them. Initially, we were doing a full swirl, like I'd run through them and then turn around. That was senseless because all you had to do was a nice easy strafe here, and the two of you just met. The synergy was solid, and the heals immediately were there too. Plus, you have your defensive activated, and you can rotate through as a paladin tank. You can rotate through both of the defenses on each one of the whirlwind, and then on the third whirlwind, it'd be available again. It'd be up. Now, for interrupting shout, that's just a DBM call out. You need to make sure that you're paying attention on your casting. You get a 7-8 second interrupt there where you can't cast anything, and that means you're going to have a huge drop in your output. And then for Enfeebling Roar is a stack. So that's why we have this perimeter established around the position, because what it allows is that when we need to call out Enfeebling Roar, we can have everybody run up really fast and be present, so that way we can split that attack and the damage increaser that goes with it, plus the total damage output that's part of the casting. And then finally, Pulverize. Pulverize is just a general takedown that's really super easy to dodge. Circular effect on the ground. Basically, you see it, get out of it. It's really, really simple to avoid. There's only one mechanic issue that you can really see where Enfeebling Roar and Pulverize have a synergy where they occur 2 times within a 6-minute period. And at that point there, what you need to look for is which one's going to happen first, and you just got to kind of pay attention to the bosses. But Enfeebling Roar takes priority over Pulverize. You have to do Enfeebling Roar right and split that correctly because it just makes mitigating and everything else that's going on easier. So since you're stacked, you can do the AoE heals, multi-target healing, things of that nature. With multi-strike, for example, on a lot of people's pieces in Heimal. And then as soon as the pulverize comes in, so it's like a V roar, and then pulverize follows, get out of wherever you see on the ground as quickly as possible. So what we do is we collapse up onto the stack point, which is red, and then everybody just drops back out. I'm not really gonna mention do a writing for when he does his shield rush. Yeah, just look at him, and whatever way he's facing, don't be in that line. That's really the only thing that I can say about that. And that pretty much covers it. Usually the fights for us, for example, take about 6.5 to 7 minutes, sometimes less, as an average. And this plan we came up with within the first, like I said, 45 minutes to an hour of doing them on heroic for a couple of weeks back, back in December, for example, and we were able to boom utilize it, and it worked out really, really well. So if you have any questions or comments, please comment below. You can hit me up online at ScionVHR, numerical 1266. You can also post below. Please click like if you enjoy the movie, and subscribe, and please share with your friends, share with your guildmates. Have them come and support my channel. I'd really appreciate it. We were able to hit 2,000 views already in our first week of me doing these, and I would like to continue doing them because I have a lot of fun with it. So I really appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.